From ClarkWoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 194. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, it would have been the 80th birthday of George the Animal Steele.
That's the first thing you bring up?
Yes, it's very important that people understand how important. I mean, there's no fucking documentary on George the Animal Steele on HBO. Is all I'm saying.
Do they have like
an
an
Andre one?
Do they have a Joan Benet Ramsey, like how old she would be birthday?
That's a good question. Hold on, let me
do
find
not
out.
Type too loud. That microphone is...
It's Wikipedia. John Benet Ramsey. When was her birthday? John Benet.
Isn't it Joan or I don't?
Where the fuck are you, John Benet Ramsey?
It's not John. It's Joan or
Ramsey. I don't know. How do you spell her name?
I don't
Joan?
know. I can't see what you're typing.
Ramsey.
Stop typing so loud. I used to sit next to a guy. Like, we both had an office in a closet, and he used to type so fucking loud. And I'm like literally a foot away from him. And I'm like, you don't need to hit the keys so hard. Mm-hmm. It's going to register. Yeah. Like, you don't need to be like,
Steve, I have interesting news for you, my friend.
What is it? Was it a birthday today?
No, it's not today. This August 6th.
Wow.
John Benet Ramsey would have been 28 years old.
28 years old. So why don't we put that up there on there, Google?
Yeah, you know, it's be
this person that was murdered, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps.
Or this person's still alive, and they're like, "Whoa, that's me."
Well, according to Wikipedia, which is never wrong, Jean Benet Patricia Ramsey was an American child beauty queen who was killed in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
A lengthy handsome note. No. Hold on.
You gotta type that. Make sure you type it really loud.
A lengthy handwritten ransom note was found in the house, and John Benet's father, John, found her body in the basement of their house about 8 hours after she was reported missing.
It was OJ.
If the glove fits, right? In about the glove?
Yeah, it was. If the glove fits, or if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, I think was the rhyme.
And if it did fit?
Then I guess he's the murderer.
I guess. I mean, you know, unless maybe he's been working out, he's lost some weight off the hands since. No, wait, then it would fit. I don't know.
No, if he had gained weight since the murder happened.
Yes.
Then
murderers.
The murderers happened. Then the glove wouldn't fit.
Ah, okay.
And there's a good chance. Eating garbage food and being in a courtroom all day, there's a good chance you're going to gain weight.
Yeah. You know that,
Johnny Cochran was a smart motherfucker.
You know that O.J. Simpson? He was in the 1977 miniseries Roots.
He was?
He was in that, yes. And they have him chasing after LeVar Burton in an early scene back when they're still back in Africa. And I have to say, I didn't see that series until long after the whole OJ debacle.
Did he catch him? I'm assuming he did. Because I imagine, like OJ, famous football star, prior to being famous criminal.
Yes.
And he was convicted, so I'm not saying anything out of turn. He was convicted for another thing.
Right.
Which was...
you said famous criminal, not famous murderer.
Yes, I said famous criminal. And before he was a famous football star, and then he was a famous sort of actor, and then famous criminal. But he was a football star, so you'd think he had good legs on him, so he would be able to catch a very short man in LeVar Burton.
Yes, I think that is reasonable to say. I would have to go back and watch the tape just to be sure, but. I'm pretty sure that yes, he caught him. I think the scenario might have been that that LeVar Burton's character Kunta Kinte was either after OJ's daughter or after some food that OJ was trying to get for his daughter or something like that. I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
That's fine. You don't need to look it up.
No. But I want to know. I want to know. Let's see.
I want to know about Rogaine with minoxidil.
Ron Goldman.
Yes.
Ron Goldman would have been, oh my gosh, this year, Steve, would have been 50 years old.
No, but like seriously, enough with like
July 2nd. Happy birthday in heaven, Ron Goldman.
Why don't we just celebrate people who are alive's birthdays? Or not do it at all. Just do fun little things like for holidays and or whatever days. Those are fine.
Those are
fine. Like if it's like, you know...
You're talking about like the Google Doodles and things like that?
Yeah, those are fun. And like say it's an administrative professional day. You know, maybe something there.
What do you think George Carlin would think of administrative professional day?
He'd probably be like, it's goddamn secretary.
I don't know. I do wonder about that because I mean he was a somewhat progressive guy.
Yes.
So he might, you know, where he usually objected to unnecessarily indirect language.
No, what he didn't like was people sanitizing things by changing language.
Okay.
So by like taking something that like what was it? I think it was like his bit was shell shock, and then it turned into what the fuck did it turn into?
It went from shell shock into
it eventually
post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. But I think it was they went through a couple of other things in between there.
Yeah. So listen to that bit instead of
our poor recreation of it.
Yeah, but like I mean his point was it's like these are people that were in war and they're shocked from it, and it was apt for it, but then like we needed to get more technical and make it a little more sanitized, and it became less suitable. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are people, as Jim Carroll used to say, who died. These are people who died. All my friends.
And they died.
Wasn't that song about drugs?
Yeah, I think so.
Not about war?
Well, you know, wars are about drugs. Or you do enough drugs and then you go off to war.
Right.
Or you have enough prostitutes pee on you and you go off to war to hide it.
Allegedly.
Happy birthday in heaven this May 19th.
Shut up with
Nicole
this!
Brown Simpson, who would have been 59.
She would have been 59, but she isn't. Let's not celebrate,
dudes.
We would not celebrate her birth. Like, stop. Let's like. Okay, so when you're born, that's
as soon as you're born, you start dying.
Yes, but once you're born, after 1 year, you celebrate the first year anniversary of your birth.
Yes.
So the and there, Chris, is that when you die, if you're going to celebrate anniversaries,
yes.
You should no longer be celebrating the anniversary of your birth. It should be the anniversary of your death.
Okay, so by that, we should no longer celebrate Christmas, right? We should no longer celebrate.
Yes, I mean it's bonkers. Like
we should no longer celebrate President's Day, which is the. Around the birthdays.
I don't get the freaking day off anymore, anyways.
Yeah, I don't either.
And a lot of working stiffs don't get it, anyways.
Yeah, no, we don't respect the presidents the way we used to.
Let's change it to the day Lincoln was shot in the head.
That's coming up, or it already passed. It was just the other day.
Was it the Ides of March?
It was no, it's not the Ides of March. No, it's April something. Lincoln assassination. John Wilkes Booth shot him in the head April 14th.
So it was
1865.
It was this past Saturday. Oh, okay.
So
unless you're listening to this like completely out of order or like, you know, weeks in advance.
For us, it was this past Saturday.
Yes, but for you it might have been months ago
or years ago.
Possibly you might be listening to this, and I'm not going to hold my breath on this.
Yeah.
That maybe you're listening to this on April 14th, 2019.
Could be.
Which I think would be a Sunday.
Yes.
Which is odd. Like I don't think a lot of people that listen to podcasts listen to them on the weekends.
I think this is true, Steve. I think you're onto something. Why do you think that is?
Because
Mr. Steve.
I think Mr. Steve.
Mr. Steve. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Steve.
I think it's because a majority of people listening to podcasts listen to them on their commute to and from work.
Yeah.
And or at work.
Yeah. I heard somebody make the contention the other day on a podcast that I listen to, and I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't need you to hate any more of the podcast people that I listen to. But this person...
Does he have a dog? This person?
He does not have a dog.
Okay, so it's not a person that I already hate.
Shit, I just used a pronoun. All right, so we've narrowed it down to a man. All right, he made the
Well,
contention...
I think majority of podcasters are men, I mean.
Unfortunately. I think we need a lot.
Do you want to get a lady on the show?
We should get a lady on this show.
Yeah, we've said several times over the course of 194 episodes and still have yet to not successfully do that.
Is that a double, triple? I don't know. Yeah, no. So no, but he made the contention that 1 hour is the absolute wrong length for a podcast. That people would rather have the sort of half-hour long podcast that they can listen to on their commute, which I wanted to like throw something at my goddamn stereo.
What if you live in the greater Boston area?
Yeah,
and your commute is more than a fucking hour.
Yeah, and that, or they want like the 2.5 hour podcast where they can just basically be listening to that same podcast like all week long or something like that. And I was just like,
yeah, but then you're only listening to one podcast a week.
I know.
And I think that's sort of taken away a lot of the listeners' time. I've taken to because I'm so far behind on all the podcasts that I listen to. I've been taken to listening to them at 1.5 times speed.
Steve, you haven't.
I have.
How is that working out for you?
It's fine. It's weird when I change it back. It sounds like they're going in slow motion.
I use the app called Overcast, which has a thing called Smart Speed, which tries to strip away the silences. Not all the way, but strips away parts of the silences between words.
Sometimes, Chris,
you feel like...
No, god damn it! You couldn't read that one? How about let me try it again.
All right, go ahead.
Sometimes, Chris, you need a pregnant pause.
Who got that pause pregnant? That's what I want to know.
It was me.
That was you.
I've just been fucking all the pauses.
Fucking all the pauses.
I just take the remote and I fuck the button. That's why it's covered in jizz.
Steve's been fucking all the pauses.
You can't have that as the fucking title.
No, but I can have it in the description.
Oh, okay. Don't put the word fuck in the description.
Okay, fine. All right. So you are saying, I think what you're saying here, if you're saying anything,
I am saying that
is no more celebrating dead people's birthdays.
No more celebrating dead people's birthdays, and embrace the lack of conversation that occasionally happens, but not for too long.
All right, so we were just saying that we both no longer get President's Day off, right? But we got today off
because we work in the greater Boston area,
yes,
which is what I mentioned earlier.
And today is a little holiday we call Patriots Day.
Yes, and it's the day that folks of you that do have today off in Massachusetts or just randomly in other parts of the country, you might this is just Monday to you, and you're sitting back.
We're going, where's my fucking podcast?
Got a giant tub of ice cream, and you're watching people run real fast,
or not so fast,
because it's pouring rain out here.
At
the Boston Marathon.
The wheelchair winner was the slowest in 30 years.
Well, I'd imagine it's hard to get a lot of traction when it's pouring rain down.
Yeah, I would imagine. I don't know about the women's or the men's winner. I know that I have a friend, C-Stance. It's Constance, but you know, we can call her C-Stance.
That seems.
She's used it before. Is Sea Dog?
That's her word.
C-Stance? I don't know. Anyway, she's running. Where is she right now? I wonder where.
Becky was telling me earlier that the person that won this year was the first time a woman won.
Yeah.
The marathon, although it was the slowest time ever because of the fucking shit weather.
Yeah. I just got a notification that my girl C-Stance passed the what was the notification? Fuck. Now she passed the 20-mile mark, so she got 6.2 miles left to go.
Yeah, that's just like a walk in the park or a run in the rain.
A run in the rain. Yep. She's now she's back.
We don't need the play-by-play, Chris.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's slowing down here and there, but
yeah, because it's fucking pouring rain out.
Yeah. She's the one that directed me in that play you saw there a week or so ago, where you were uncomfortable because I was kissing somebody else.
It was weird. I'm sorry.
I mean, you would rather I was just kissing you.
No, I don't want that. That would be the worst.
I think that is my next. Not that I want it to be you, but I think that's my next acting gig. Is I want to do a gay kiss on stage, because otherwise I'm never gonna have kissed a dude in my entire life, and I think that'd be fun.
Okay. All right. Well,
I just wanted to see how uncomfortable I could make you.
No, this isn't uncomfortable at all. It's weird that that's something that. I mean, it's fine as an actor to do it, but like to seek it out, it seems odd.
Well, I mean, it would have to be the right part. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't want to be like the in like the stage performance of Brokeback or something like that.
No, probably not.
Where you'd be like more than just making out.
Do they?
I don't think they actually. I mean, I don't know if there's.
I mean, I know they can't quit each other or something like that, but I've never seen the movie.
They bang in a tent, but I imagine you could go in the tent and then you could make sounds like you're banging.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Who is it that bangs in there? Is it Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger?
Yeah,
is that them?
Yeah.
Okay, they bang in the tent. That's two fine looking gentlemen. I think they could.
So if you were playing against, well, obviously Jake Gyllenhaal is the only one you could play against.
Well, I mean, I could kiss what's his name in hell. I mean, I imagine he's. Well, you think he's in hell or he's in heaven? I don't know.
You mean in two nonsensical places? Which one of the two do you think
Which one of the two nonsensical places do you think Heath Ledger is in?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He might just be energy floating around in the world right now.
He might be a corpse in a casket somewhere. Unless he was cremated.
There's like
shot out of a cannon. No, that's
that was
else.
Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
Cemeteries are like dumb. I'm just saying. Like, there's going to be exponentially more people every year until the end of time. And so, is that what the cemeteries are dumb?
I can't do that. My uncle just died like a week ago. If I put out cemeteries are dumb, my family is going to be like, are you making some kind of comment there? Yeah, no. So I'm
just saying, like, it's ridiculous because like the amount of dead people is going to keep on piling up, and the places for them is going to disappear.
Yeah,
which is why cremation, I think, is the way to go.
Right,
you just get burned up, and then you become something that's helpful and not like taking up like.
What do they do with? I mean, obviously the ashes, right, go to the family or what? But what do they do with the energy at a crematorium? Like,
I don't know.
Do they do anything with it, or does it just go like it puffs smoke out of a factory stack?
I'll have to ask the next time I'm around some folks that they may know. We have some connections in the funeral industry.
My uncle's wishes were to be cremated, so I guess I could ask my but I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. How about I ask people that work at a funeral home?
I'm curious, like, and I think it's definitely a cultural thing and a regional things, because he came from California, my uncle did, and my understanding is that it's far, at least amongst his town or wherever he came from, it was far more common to be cremated. Maybe because there's not as much space out there. I have no idea, but
not as much. I guess in Southern California there's not much space, but like Northern California there's plenty of freaking space.
Yeah, or maybe the culture out there is such that they don't want to take up all their open space with cemeteries.
Yeah. Hence, cemeteries are dumb.
I think you're right. I mean, oh God. How are we talking about this?
It's helping you heal.
It's helping me heal. I might end up back in therapy because I have an obscene fear of death.
You don't have to, Chris, because you're going to go to a magical place afterwards.
But which one?
I don't know. You've been
Do I need to bring suntan lotion or?
I mean,
you know...
made it. We've made it 194 episodes, so you haven't annoyed me to the point of saying I want to stop doing this. So I think that makes you a good person. So you probably go to the magical place.
I go to the good place.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Hang out with what's her butt. Ask her to sing songs from Frozen.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say who.
I don't remember.
It's Kristen Bell, but
Kristen Bell. Oh,
she's America's new sweetheart, I think.
Is she now?
Right. Her husband, not so much.
He's a bit of a goober.
He's a little bit of a goof. He's fine, but she's better.
Yeah. Of course she is. Yeah. I mean, she was in that show there about the reporter.
I didn't see it, but Becky has said I should.
Yeah. And she was in that other thing with the forgetting her. Was she Sarah Marshall or was she forgetting Sarah?
I think
Marshall?
she was Sarah Marshall.
She was Sarah Marshall. Okay, it's good to know.
Right.
What the? Oh yeah, no.
Before you were getting back into therapy.
I was about funerals and because I have wondered, and obviously Stephanie and I have talked about this a little bit more in the last week or two since my uncle died, because we haven't talked about any fucking plans or anything like that. But I had often wondered, it's like, where the fuck do we get buried? Like,
do you have a will?
No.
That's something that you might want to work on.
Yeah, something you might want to work on. No, but it was like, so all of her family is in Maine, and all of my family is in Massachusetts, and especially when we were living in New Hampshire, I was kind of like, where the fuck do we go? But I think, if we live long enough lives, maybe cremation will continue to be the thing.
That's what I'm just aiming for. Like, burn me up, sweetie.
Burn me up, Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, although I don't have a will, but we're not married yet, so
yeah.
Maybe we can do that after we get married.
Do it on the honeymoon. It's a really fun activity.
We'll sit in some Irish glade and write our fucking will. Hi, I'm Rick Steves. The best place to write your will is somewhere near Dingle.
Dingle.
I like Dingle.
Now, if you get
or Galway,
if you get a berry, if you get a blueberry in Dingle,
No, we're not doing this again.
Have we done that before?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying. I don't remember the dumb jokes that I've made before or haven't made because you won't let me. If you'd let me make the joke, I would find like it's
you
like
made the joke last time.
It's like when a song gets stuck in your head.
It was a laugh riot, and I didn't want to expose everybody to the amount of humor they were going to twice. Like that's too much, Chris.
Okay,
there's too much laughter. Sometimes you need a break.
Too much laughter. Yeah. No, so you told me to write down something, because I don't want to talk about funerals anymore. You told me to write down something called the statue joke.
Oh, okay.
That's all you told me to write down, and I don't know what it means. I assume it's something about
statues.
So, Greek statues, Roman statues.
I'll tell this joke if you promise not to interrupt me.
Do I have to? Do I have to promise?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so two statues, both nude, one man and one woman, which is what marriage should be. You can laugh.
It's not funny.
Yes, it is. They're standing across from each other in a park, and God looks down. Another joke. And he says, these two have been staring at each other for centuries, and he grants them both life. And they're alive, and they're looking around, and they're like, the guy looks at the girl, and he goes, you want to do what I'm thinking? And she's like, yeah, I'll grab the bird, and you shit on him. Get it?
I get it.
Fuck you.
No, it's really... No, I'm sorry. I did laugh at first, and then I just got stupid about it. Because it is funny. And now I just can't stop. Because I'm just stressed out, and I'm whatever, and I just like I needed a laugh. We were talking about fucking funerals. Could he come on the bird instead? Because the cum is
No,
like...
Click, reset the clock.
That laugh of Heath Ledger's when he was the Joker. I sometimes try to do that equivalent of the laugh until my children are absolutely terrified of me.
So you do that every day?
No, not every day, but just sometimes.
Just most days.
Just sometimes. Sometimes, especially if I've had like 3 cups of coffee instead of 1 or 2.
You're not really a coffee guy, so that's not something that...
No, I have coffee every day now.
Oh, you do? Wow.
Yeah, who am I going to piss off when I say this?
Probably Brian.
From a Keurig.
We have a Keurig. We have the little like reusable ones.
The reusable.
We put our own coffee in it.
The good coffee. You grind the beans?
No, we don't grind the beans.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we might. Well, I say we. It's Becky because I don't drink coffee.
Yeah. I saw one of those yesterday when I actually took a break from my weekend of work, and I went out to get something to eat, and then I was near a Walmart. Ugh. But
we have a Kmart in town, and Becky went to it, and she had fun there.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to go to that Kmart. You talking about? Wait, no.
The cross from the Acton Bolodrome.
Yes, I used to go to that Kmart.
Actually, hey, I'm confusing people into thinking I live in Acton.
All the time with my grandmother, and then later my my aunt, I think. And
wouldn't the one in Billerica have been closer?
They lived in. This is my grandmother who lived in Littleton.
Oh, okay. So definitely Acton closer to Littleton.
And they...
Who needs prepositions?
We would go there. We would go to the McDonald's that it was across the parking lot.
Which has been abandoned.
Yeah, it still looks like a McDonald's, but it's abandoned for...
It's been closed for at least 10 years, I think.
Yeah, it hasn't been there in a while. But we would go in there, and then rather than just settle for the Happy Meal toy, my grandmother would take me across the way, and so to give you an idea of how old I was, she died when I was... 4 when I was 4. I just turned 4 a couple months before. So this is when I was really little, but she would take me.
John must have been like an infant.
Yeah, he was. Well, she died in 1982, so yeah, he was 2.
So yeah, he was a toddler.
Yeah, but she would take me over and get me Star Wars toys. Out of these huge bins that Kmart had, where instead they weren't hanging, as I recall, and of course this is a 4-year-old's recollection, like they weren't hanging on the
little pegs.
The pegs, they were all in sort of a big bin, and you could just fish in for whenever.
And you found all the Akbars.
I may have.
You should have gotten the Boba Fett with the launcher on him.
I don't think I ever had that one.
No one did because it didn't exist, but it's like there was a prototype made, and it's one of the rarest Star Wars toys. I watched a documentary on Star Wars toys.
I still have up in my parents' attic my original Vader. He does not have the lightsaber, but he does have the cape still intact. Sort of Mylar cape that goes, and it does like the fucking, I don't know. You remember those? It has the cape that like has a collar, and the collar is almost taller than Vader himself. It's kind of weird looking. And I have my Anakin Skywalker, who I remember I had to send away for. You had to like collect stamps.
Anakin?
Yes, Anakin. So it was around, whatever. So I don't know. It might have even been a couple years after Jedi came out, but you had to collect proof of purchases or something, and then send them away to Kenner or Mattel or whoever it is. I think it was Kenner, right? Send it away to Kenner, and they would send you an Anakin Skywalker figure,
which was like Vader with the helmet off.
No, it was like Anakin from the original Jedi in the gray robes as a ghost. So it was like Ghost Anakin.
Okay.
Obviously not Hayden Christensen. They could not.
Yeah, I mean,
future.
I'm like
no, but so Ghost Anakin.
Wow, that's impressive.
Still got that one. I got my Millennium Falcon up there.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Look at all the fucking rain.
Is Shrek out there yet?
No.
I made that joke before the show,
and it made me so happy
that I had to do it again.
Yeah.
What about Donkey? Ninja Turtles?
In the swamp?
Yeah, turtles are in swamps, aren't they?
Yeah, but like they were in the sewers.
Yeah, well, there ain't no sewers around here, right? So if you're gonna have suburban,
There are sewers. We have. We pay a fucking sewer bill every month.
All right. Suburban Ninja Turtles would be in the swamp. I think. That's what I think. If you had suburban Ninja Turtles, what would they be? They wouldn't be named after painters. What would they be named after?
I don't know. Like the whole reason why like Master Splinter named him that because like it was his favorite artists.
Oh.
So
how does the rat have favorite artists?
He was a person.
Oh.
And he got mutated into a rat person.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He was a person. He liked
in the movie art. It was he was a rat that got turned into like a rat person.
Oh, see, that's what it is.
But in the series he was a person that got turned into a rat person.
Got it.
The way that the mutagen worked is that like the you mutated into something that you came in contact with recently. So like turtles had come in contact with a human, so they became like humanish turtles. So then Splinter got in contact with like a rat.
Did you ever see? I feel like there was and I don't know if this is just a fan comic or if this was an actual thing from the Turtles where they tried to suggest that the same accident that caused the turtles, because wasn't it like a truck or something, and then the mutagen went down into the sewers?
No, that was Toxic Avenger that you're thinking of.
Okay, I thought there was something where they tried to link Daredevil with the turtles, and like the same chemical that blinded Daredevil was the chemical that turned the turtles into the turtles.
I don't think so.
But that's that's cross universe.
Yeah,
stuff right there.
that is cross like different. I mean, I don't think was it Dark Horse that originally put out the Ninja Turtles?
Mirage did Ninja Turtles.
Okay, so that was like in 1988, 89, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I have I think I finally.
So Daredevil was around before that.
No, I know that's what they're. I remember it being like a side panel or
it's something like, oh, I want Pee Wee Herman to be riding his Back to the Future bike through fucking Ghostbusters town.
Are you making fun of me?
I was making fun of myself.
Daredevil Ninja Turtles. Okay, let's see if I'm totally the TMNT connection. Okay. All right. As most know,
oh, of course,
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird as a parody / hat tip to Daredevil, most specifically the Frank Miller established style. The canister of ooze that fell into the storm drain and exposed the Turtles and Splinter was meant to have been the same that bounced off Matt Murdock's face. Also, Master Splinter / Master Stick, the foot / the hand, etc. This blog gives some pretty good opinions and details on the subject, as well as to the long overdue notion of a crossover.
You think they'll do that, like on the Marvel series on Netflix? They'll cross over with the fucking terrible fucking Ninja Turtles that.
Oh, that one. I had that one for some godforsaken reason on my Amazon not wish list, watch list.
Because you were like, I need
to see that.
I need to get into Megan's foxhole.
I did not say that. Although I remember thinking,
but Mr. Plinkett did.
Although I remember thinking that she was a rather attractive young woman when the
first Transformers came out, and she was like bent over the car with her little like, short shorts
or mini skirt or whatever.
The only thing I remember is the stuff from the trailer, and then like the only thing that I
mean that didn't ruin my childhood, if you know what I'm saying. Oh. The rest of the movie did, but.
Well, it didn't ruin my childhood because I think I might have had different opinions when it first came out because I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they blah 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 blah? I mean, and I'm annoyed that they're constantly rebooting things and making video game movies and just premiered this weekend.
Rampage.
Like
my favorite 80s video game.
Because you loved playing a game that never ended.
I loved playing a game where a dragon turned into a lady who had lost all her clothes and she covered up her boobs and her vag with her hands and tried to like scoot off the screen while I was trying to get quarters in there to turn her back into a dragon or whatever, or lizard.
Before one of the other two guys ate you.
Yeah, yeah. And not ate you in a good way.
Restart the clock.
Well, I mean, you know, if one of the two guys in their human form had quote unquote eaten her,
why don't you write some fanfic, Rampage fanfic?
I might.
Before they became monsters, they were having a three-way.
Yeah, and they all got hit by a canister of ooze that bounced off of Dwayne Johnson's forehead.
Yeah, who became The Rock
or Dwayne the Scissors Johnson or Dwayne the Paper Johnson.
That's hilarious.
But
we went to see a movie this weekend.
Was it Rampage?
I didn't know it wasn't Rampage. We went to see Wes Anderson's new film, Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs. Is it about dogs?
Yes.
Is it about an island?
Yes.
Is it about an island full of dogs?
Yes.
Not made of dogs?
No.
Okay.
It was cute. It was like, you know, the stop motion, like similar to the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, okay.
And it was a fun little movie about a little boy searching for his dog.
Not just dog singular, not dog plural.
He was looking for his dog.
His dog on the Isle of Dogs, which is what made it difficult.
Like there's this it's set in future Japan.
Okay.
Not excessive future, like, you know, I think maybe 10, 20 years, something like that. Or
Okay.
maybe 5, 10 years, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget exactly the amount of years. But, so there's a corrupt mayor that wants all the dogs gone, so they ban all the dogs to Trash Island, and then, like, some other guy finds a cure for the disease that all these dogs have, and then they, you know, it's a whole to-do. I won't explain the whole plot, but then this little boy who misses his dog, who is the, I think, nephew of the mayor, goes off in his little plane and goes to the Isle of Dogs, and then searches with the fun voice acted cast of dogs, and then
Was there anybody in particular who we would know in terms of the voice cast?
If you've ever seen a Wes Anderson movie, imagine
I don't
everybody.
know if I have, but
what?
I'm pretty sure I've never seen one.
Okay, well, anybody of you out there that's seen a Wes Anderson movie, the usual suspects are the voice cast of this movie.
Let's check out the oeuvre of Wes Anderson. All right. Wes Anderson. That's like a funny looking man.
Like a Bill Murray or
Nope. I should look at director, right? Nope.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at his IMDb page. I'm going backwards. Nope.
You haven't seen a single one of these films.
Nope.
You've never seen Rushmore or Bottle Rocket?
Nope. Haven't seen any of his movies.
What the fuck?
I think I tried watching the Royal Tenenbaums once, and I got like 10 or 15 minutes in, and I was bored.
What? Chris.
No, I'm serious. I'm not fucking pulling your leg. I remember watching the first 10 or 15 minutes of it and just being like, I'm bored.
If it doesn't have a fucking superhero flying through and crashing into a fucking wall?
That is not true.
Oh, smash!
One of my favorite movies of all time is Wonder Boys, which has it has actors who go on to play superheroes in it, but that's beside the point.
Watch fucking some Wes Anderson.
None of these seem that interesting to me.
They're all fucking interesting.
What?
Well, not all of them. Some of them are hit or miss, but The Royal Tenenbaums is a good movie. And I'm waiting for the email to chastise you for that.
I'm pretty sure I have. You know, I remember sitting there and watching it for like 10 minutes, and I just didn't. There's been movies where like I've watched for 10 minutes, and I'm like, wow, this isn't that great, and then it got better. Like I didn't just say, don't have enough. Okay, Steve,
I'm going to stop watching this possibly really good movie because the first 10 minutes are a little slow.
I don't have enough time. If it's not entertaining me in the first 10 minutes, I'm done. If I'm not entertaining me in the first 10 pages, I'm done. There's too much good shit in the world for me to sit there and wait for something to get good.
Okay, so instead, you'll watch the first 10 minutes of a movie that might be bad for the rest of it, and then be like, wow, this is fine, and then watch the rest of that shitty movie that might not have been good or that is bad.
No, I don't watch bad movies. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's bad in the first 10 minutes, I turn it off.
But if it's good in the first 10 minutes,
okay,
and then bad for the rest of it, you'll continue watching it?
No. If it's bad in the first 20, that's first 30. If somewhere around the halfway point,
but then
if I've been suckered in, then sometimes I'll finish watching.
But then all those times where you were suckered in, that 45 minutes to an hour of movie you're watching that's not good, you could have spent with a movie that you gave up on.
I could, but I could also go spend it with a movie that I know I love. I'm sorry, that's the way my life is too damn short for me to spend time on things that are not fun or enjoyable.
But you're the person across from you right now is saying to you,
yes, and
that needs to stop.
Okay, the person across from me is saying what?
Is saying that these films, for the majority, are really good, and you are dismissing that because the first 10 minutes of one of them was not so good.
Yes, kind of. What's Rushmore about? Give me the Rushmore pitch, because see, I expected to like the Royal Tenenbaums from the get-go. I had read about it, I had seen the cast. I was like, this is my kind of movie. It seemed like it was about a family and
it was about a family,
and all of the terribleness that goes into being part of.
But there are artistic shots in a lot of Wes Anderson movies, so therefore there's not necessarily going to be a lot of fucking dialogue in certain parts.
Well, I don't necessarily need a ton of dialogue, despite the fact that I used to be a Kevin Smith devotee. I don't like overuse of dialogue. And in fact, being a Kevin Smith devotee taught me that. I was like, I don't like the fact that in his movies nobody shuts up.
Well, Rushmore is a sort of love story, story about growing up. Like that. Okay. That's the.
Maybe I should watch that one.
That was the first one of Wes Anderson's movies I ever saw. I actually saw it at the Route 3 Cinema.
The extracurricular king of Rushmore Preparatory School is put on academic probation. That is how IMDb describes it.
All right, well.
Schwartzman, Bill Murray.
And I think that was the movie that kind of like brought Bill Murray back from like fucking like some of the worst shit that he had done.
Yeah.
And he started doing more selective material.
Right.
Which I think made his career slightly better.
Yeah. I don't know. But Isle of Dogs was good.
Yeah, it was great. You probably would have hated it because the first 10 minutes were boring.
I mean, honestly, like I this has been the crisis of my weekend. To be completely honest with you, is that I have the whole lower bookshelf of my bookshelf of my bookcase is so two books deep, completely full with some stuff on the because the lower shelf has more headroom, some stuff stacked on the top. And my dad was doing a fire on Saturday.
You did not burn books.
I thought about it.
Just go give them to the fucking library. You hate giving things to other people?
No. I'm emotional because this is honestly like, the books, the things on my to watch list, all of this stuff is starting to stress me out again. And, I get these things, or I collect these movies that people tell me are amazing, or whatever, and I don't ever get any time to myself. I don't ever get any time to relax, and so this stuff piles up until it basically becomes another thing I haven't done.
Do you want to change the show to a half an hour, and then you can sit in my spare room and watch half an hour of a movie?
Half an hour isn't enough time for anything.
You can watch an episode of a regular television show.
Yeah, I hate sitcoms. I'm not meant for 22-minute bullshit that just repeats itself week after week after week.
All right, so okay, we could switch the show to half an hour, and you can watch an hour-long drama or like a 40-something minute long drama.
Okay, no, we don't.
You can hang out for an extra 15 minutes. We'll both leave you. We'll go off into the living room. You can sit in the spare room and watch a thing, or sit and read a book for 45 minutes.
No, I can't do that because we have to entertain the people here, Steve. They need an hour.
And I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to give you solutions, Chris.
I think the solution is to like not be as hard on myself and to just like allow that when I'm in the middle of a semester, nothing's going to get done entertainment wise. And that in the summertime and over Christmas, I'll be able to.
Summer's coming up pretty soon.
In the summertime when the weather gets hot.
It's not. It's actually when the weather is high.
When the weather is high, what is this? It's time to stand. Go fuck yourself, Apple Watch.
So you're letting a fucking technology tell you what to do.
No, I'm not. It told me to stand, and I said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, but like you were distracted by it at least.
Well, it was the second time it tapped me, and my friend is running the Boston Marathon, and so today is one day.
We don't need to know where she is right now.
She's at the 35K mark 7 minutes ago.
How many miles is that?
20. Oh, she's in Commonwealth. 7 minutes ago, she was at Com Ave in Brighton. So
cool.
She's pretty near the end.
You want to call her? Put her on the show?
No, she's probably out of breath.
Oh.
That'd be my guess.
Well, then put your phone down.
Where the fuck is she? It's 1637. Wow,
Chris.
it's saying she's got another...
Really?
She's got another... All right.
Dude, no one cares.
I know. No, so I'm just trying to explain. That's why I looked. I was like, oh, maybe it's going to say that my pal finished the race. That was why I looked, not because the technology has control over me. Although I am doing my best to eliminate technology wherever I can.
Yeah,
but I think the problem is that I keep trying to eliminate things. Like the last few times that I've piled up a whole bunch of books, I haven't burned them. I've donated them to the library.
Good.
And then I go ahead and I pile up more books until I feel like this again, and then I donate them to the library. Or I pile up movies on my to watch list, and then I delete them all because it stresses me out to have all this stuff that I can't do anything about.
So don't make the list in the first place.
Okay. So I won't.
Don't buy the books unless you know you're going to be able to read it.
Okay. I won't watch any. I
have a fuck ton of video games that I have yet to. There's video games that I got 10 years ago that I have not ever played.
But is it stressing you out?
No.
That's the difference.
Well, you gotta maybe you do need to talk to somebody that isn't me, that maybe has a higher degree and say, Chris, why does this make you feel that way?
Because life is short.
Well, I just fucking did it. So, Chris, why does that make you feel this way?
Because life is short, Steve, and I'm running out of time.
No, you aren't. You have fucking plenty of time. So, like, the amount of times where you're checking Twitter or doing other things, just don't do that and watch something that you or read something that you might enjoy instead of reading about a fucking shithead president.
Unless the shithead president is in a book, right?
Don't read any books that
not about not about this shithead president, but just a shithead president.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read a book about another president, not our current shithead president, okay, then please, by the grace of God, do so.
There was a farticle that I dug up for the show today, but we only have about I guess we can get into it. We got 12 minutes left.
Yeah, we could
we could talk about this farticle, which because it has to do with movies. None of these are going to be on my on my list. I don't think they're not going to get added. But it's on Collider.com this week. There was the year in film 1975.
Well, neither of us were born.
Neither of us were born. What does 1975 mean to you,
I
Steve?
mean, it's the year my father graduated high school.
Right. My mom as well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the same...
Oh, yeah. They were in the same high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same homeroom.
I don't know if I remembered that.
Well,
I probably knew that at some point.
Your mother's maiden name is lower down the alphabet than her married name.
That's true. So what movies do you recall? Like, do you have any notion of movies that would have come out in 1975?
I don't know. I really don't. Like
The number one motion picture at the box office in 1975 was about a shark.
Oh, Jaws.
Jaws.
All right. Well, so that was a good film. And it was made better because special effects were not as great, and so therefore they couldn't show the shark a lot, and it made the leering or the specter of the shark being around more like tense.
Yes, I know that I've seen most of, if not all of Jaws. You've seen Jaws.
Of course.
Okay.
I've seen it in the theaters. Actually, I think I saw it like probably about 10 years ago or maybe less in the drive-in.
Oh, really?
They did a retro movie night, and Jaws, I think, was the second of the two features.
That would be a good drive-in movie. Because, drive-ins, I mean, certainly they've tried to keep up with the technology, but they're still drive-ins.
There's one down in Mendon, which, this is something you could do with the kids or something like that, and then they fall asleep. And,
Well, we used to do that when we lived in New Hampshire. There was one up there that we went to.
the Milford one?
Yeah, we went to the Milford one all the time because it was the way that we could all four of us go see something.
Yeah, and it's like doing it when they do like a retro movie night, you get to watch a classic film that you may or may not have seen before. And usually when you have younger kids, they will fall asleep for the first movie, and then
that's what they would.
The grown-ups get to watch the second movie.
Although a lot of the time we couldn't make it to the second movie. We were so exhausted by the time the second movie would come around. So of all the times we went, I think
should drink more coffee.
Only 2 or 3 times. Well, I wasn't drinking coffee back then.
All right, well.
Only 2 or 3 times did we ever actually... We stayed and watched both Up and Star Trek, the reboot. That was a double feature. And we stayed and watched Captain America, the Winter Soldier after Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a double feature.
A weird double feature because usually the first movie is like a kid's movie. Yeah. And then the second movie is...
Well, I think in that case it was because it was one of the first times in a while that there were 2 Marvel movies that had been out close enough to each other. And so I had gone...
a Marvel double feature?
Yeah, I had gone and seen Guardians that day. And then on my way in the afternoon with my friend Brendan... And then I was checking on the way home, and I was like, oh, shit, it's playing at the drive-in tonight. And it's playing with Winter Soldier, which Stephanie hadn't seen yet. So that was the other time that we stayed through both. Not like the old Chelmsford drive-in, which was within, like, hiking distance from my house.
But now it's condos.
Yeah, now it's condos. Everything's fucking condos. All right, let's run down the other top 10 movies and see how many of them we have seen. From 1975, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have never seen it, and that is one of those things where I'm being a nudge about. And
I think that's a better one to be a nudge about than when I was being a nudge about The Princess Bride.
See, I don't see the trick with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think it was a thing that a lot of my friends really enjoyed back in the day, and the epic contrarian I was at that point in my life.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to go see it.
It was more of a theatrical event than it was the movie, too. It was like people were really into it because they would go to the theater. In Harvard Square and
watch it every weekend.
Yeah, for the midnight show, and they dress up as the characters and whatnot. I did not see it until a couple of friends put it on a portable TV while we were camped out for classes my junior year of college.
All right, well...
Yeah.
But the thing, watching that movie in college, I mean, watching it in like high school or college, I think is the right time to watch it. Mm-hmm. And like, it's just, I think it's definitely way past that point. It's less of me being a contrarian at this point and more of me
at this
just,
point, why
I understand what goes on. I understand like the plot.
You don't need to see it.
I don't. Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was number 3.
I have that on Blu-ray.
I have not seen that.
That is a great movie. You probably would.
That
boring in the first 10 minutes.
That is one I would like to see, but who knows when it will happen. Dog Day Afternoon.
I have seen it.
I have not seen that. Shampoo.
Was that John Waters?
I don't know. It was the number 5 grossing movie that year. The Return of the Pink Panther was number 6.
I'm not 100% sure which of the Pink Panther movies I've seen and have not seen.
Neither have I.
So I can't vouch and say that I have seen that one.
Number 7 was Funny Lady.
I did not see that.
Number 8 was The Apple Dumpling Gang, which I'm pretty sure I have seen.
I don't know what that is.
I think it was a Disney movie. I feel like it was like a Disney movie, maybe Don Knotts or some damn person like that.
Yeah, I did not see that one.
Number 9 was Aloha, Bobby and Rose.
That I've never even heard of.
Yeah, no, I haven't either. And number 10 was The Other Side of the Mountain.
Another one I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I've seen, at least I've seen the top 5.
Yeah.
I guess that makes me...
Cuckoo's Nest cleaned up at the Oscars that year.
Well, Cuckoo's Nest was fantastic.
Yeah, except for Best Supporting Actor, which went to George Burns for The Sunshine Boys, and Best Supporting Actress, which went to Lee Grant for Shampoo.
I really like Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, it's not like with most adaptations of a book, it's not 100% faithful, but I find that the book and the movie are equally enjoyable.
I did not know. So it says in a follow-up sentence in this article, it says, you also had the release of Sidney Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon, which had Al Pacino playing a man robbing a bank who is in a relationship with a trans woman. Yeah. For 1975, that's pretty progressive.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is very true.
Yeah, yeah. I mean...
And this was back when the gender reassignment surgery, or whatever you want to call it, was not necessarily up to snuff that it is in 2018.
Yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail came out in 75.
Which is another film that you've seen that one, right?
I have seen that one.
Good.
Yep. Many, not I was gonna say many times, not enough times, but I've definitely seen it a handful, and I love it, so I should see it more.
I watched it. I watched a thing online about it. I think we watched it like about a year ago. This is another movie I have. There was like, you know how the end of it, and spoilers if you haven't seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
yeah,
at the end where like the cops show up and they like break up the battle and they arrest everybody. Like that wasn't supposed to be the ending. They ran out of money for the film, and so they couldn't do any more. So they're like, that's the ending.
See, I didn't remember. I couldn't remember what the ending was. I read something about it the other day that alluded to the ending, but that was it. Nashville came out in 75.
Like the
Robert
TV
Altman.
series?
No, Robert Altman's musical comedy drama about the music business. Barry Lyndon.
That is a
Kubrick.
that is a Kubrick film that I have never seen. But the thing with that movie is that it's filmed only with natural light.
Oh, interesting.
Or so there's no like light or like, you know, any studio lights or anything like that. It's like candles, and because the time it takes place there isn't electricity.
Okay.
So there's like all the light like in, at least I think there isn't electricity. I'm not sure, but that's what I've heard, and so that doesn't make it necessarily interesting enough for me to want to see it, but like but you know, as far as his other films, I imagine there's a couple more that people like, if you haven't seen, like, you know, I imagine 2001 or Full Metal Jacket, which
hey,
we can end the show with
Full Metal Jacket, yes, because Mr. R. Lee Ermey passed.
I think it was over this weekend,
which is a dumb expression, right? He died.
Yeah, that's Carlin again, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So I've never seen Full Metal Jacket, but what have I seen him in?
He was in some movie with Jason Biggs. I think he was in an episode.
Oh, I've seen him in 7.
He was in 7?
It says he was in 7. He was a police captain in 7.
He was probably yelling like this.
Oh, he was fucking Sarge in Toy Story, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that I know his voice from that. Let's see, anything else?
Full Metal Jacket is basically like 2 movies. There's the beginning of the movie, which is like the boot camp, and then the second half of the movie is entirely different, because the cast is slightly different, obviously, once they get to Vietnam.
Right. The I've seen some Vietnam movies, but I haven't seen that one. That's weird that I haven't. Anyway, just a quick looking that I don't really recognize.
Or Clockwork Orange. I mean, that's another one of Kubrick's that I think would be on above Barry Lyndon on a watch list.
Yeah. Maybe we've done this one before. I cannot remember which Kubrick I've seen.
Have you seen Lolita?
I've seen Eyes Wide Shut,
which is probably on the lower end. Did you see the edited version where there was people standing in front of the people that were fucking?
No, I saw
the fucky version.
The fucky version. That's the only one I've seen. That's the only Kubrick I've seen is Eyes Wide Shut.
Huh.
Holy shit! Wow, there was a big gap between some of those fucking movies.
Yeah, well, he was a super. Oh yeah, and what is it? Goddamn Outlook Hotel. Fucking.
Oh yeah, Shining.
Yeah.
There
we go.
I feel like maybe in school once I might have seen part of Spartacus, but
I love you, Spartacus.
Yeah. I don't know. I am woefully undereducated for a man of my age.
Well, you didn't study communications.
I did not study communications. This is true.
Like knowing film and television and those sort, like film, television, radio, those sort of mediums are where I focused my attention, and you focused more on the literary side.
I did, but I also think I never focused on anything enough, and my major as an undergrad was quote unquote narrative arts. It was an individual studies major that incorporated writing, theater, and illustration, among other things, and it was just my way of never focusing on anything, and I think that's still a problem today.
But how does that make you feel?
Hey, this is the end of the episode, and we're not going to say you can find the show notes anymore. We're going to just say you can email us at hot@clarkwoods.com to tell me how I should be ashamed of myself.
Yes, all the films. Well, don't necessarily get Chris's pulse rising because he hasn't watched movies, but if you can find some constructive criticism, or not necessarily that, but some helpful hints,
yes,
to maybe help Chris manage his time better, so he can possibly enjoy some of the things that he wants to do.
Yes, possibly enjoy some of my life before it's over.
Cut the shit.
When you're done emailing us, you can also go over to wherever you listen to your podcasts, but specifically go over to iTunes and the Apple Podcast store.
Apple Podcast.
Go over there and give us a 5-star rating and drop a note. Drop a little notey note in there and say how awesome we are.
Yeah.
Leave the critiques for the emails. Leave the kudos for the ratings.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to say.
Critiques for the emails, kudos for the. I should turn that into a thing. That should be the end of the thing.
Critiques for the emails and kudos for the fucking 5-star rating. It doesn't flow.
No, kudos to you, Steve.
Thanks.